Teresa finished her quilt from last month, her little ones, and this one last month is called Now. See, now I forgot what we were even doing, Teresa. Here. And she finished them, and these are her butterflies.
You have to know that, and I'm going to show Eric too in a minute, but you have to know this is the same pieces from your background here. It's on the border.
Isn't that pretty?
The border around is I cut it in color as your background. Okay?
That is really pretty.
I really liked it, and then
isn't that pretty?
And what Elle has is the same, is the ribbon border, and it's the same patch. Wow. It's the same patch. It's just that we turn it.
Remember, these are in your instructions from last month. Yeah, to make it really, really fun. And we're going to put it right here on screen for Eric.
That's the ribbon
So
border.
I'm real proud that Teresa got them done, aren't you? I've been going through my garage, and I am finding 43 years of unfinished projects. That's like making me crazy.
Yeah.
And I want to look in every box just to see what I forgot. So we have a new pattern, a new block on board, and this is what it looks like. We're going to have Eric just go close up on it. Here it is. It's one of those long block on boards. Every single piece is in there, and you can cut it in one pass. Now, Accuquilt called this block on board Goose Tracks. Goose Tracks. And so it's okay.
I keep calling turkey tracks, and I think it's Thanksgiving
I know.
something.
I
don't know.
And so we looked through Barbara Brackman's book, and we found out that Goose Tracks, and Teresa selected her fabrics just for the fall. It's really, really great, huh? Just for the fall. But we found another name for Goose Tracks. And as our guest for Thanksgiving, we have our turkey tracks. You know, Brenda is so funny. She brings this up so often. I said, Brenda's got to wear her turkey hat.
Well, you know, Eleanor.
Yes, my dear.
We have to stick together as birds of a feather.
Yes, we're birds of, but you're so good as a turkey, huh?
Yeah, man.
Another name for this block is called Fancy Flowers. Oh, don't you think I'm pretty fancy? Absolutely. This was when I was digging in the garage, and I looked in all the aprons and found my fancy flower. Well, why didn't you tell me I put it on backwards? When you gasped, I got it.
But her back is so good. I know. Yeah.
I know. Now, how is this? Am I a fancy flower? And now I'm going to show Eric. Eric, I know you can't wait to show the whole country my fancy flowers. And I know. Do you want to see the quilts? Yeah. My fancy flowers quilt. Get ready. Oh, wow. Fancy flowers. And it just really reminded me, you know, kind of that era, the apron and just all the pretty colors in it and the cute little flower. But it's the same technique for goose tracks, turkey tracks, and fancy flowers. It's all just based on your colors and what you do. And so when I was looking at Barbara Brackman's book, Fancy Flowers, and it said that it was first designed in Grandmother Clark's book. Grandmother Clark's book, Fancy Flowers. And I go, oh, I'm going to look that up. I must be able to go in my office of all of my antique treasures and find a Grandmother's Clark book, and I did it. Wow. Yep, and here I got to watch that Colt's sitting right here. Anyhow, here it is. This is like when I have a whole notebook. I could not believe of my hundreds of notebooks. I put my fingers on this one first. I always feel like I'm blessed. But anyhow, this is all Grandmother Clark's, and I'm looking to see, okay, so then, okay, this one is 1933. And right here, I think is Fancy Flowers. I know, but then I went on, and look what I found. Ah, gasp. A gog, huh? And there's the shapes. There's the diamond shape, and I think you need to use this diamond shape B for Fancy Flowers. But that's not all. Guess what else I found in my notebook? Okay, so then there was this little pouch sitting right in the front of my notebook, all from Grandmother Clark, 1933. 1933. And look at what they published. Do you believe this? We think we're so hot right now. Look at this in 1933. All these little cardboard templates that they did. All the cardboard templates that they put out. And Teresa, we think we're so hot with our log cabin, you know. All the different sizes on a row. 1933. But isn't this cool? And I really like to collect all of these patterns and, you know, just review and see what went on. I was at a modern quilt meeting a couple months ago, and a young woman ran in and she said, oh, I'm so excited. I just found a new pattern. And I said, okay, what's the name of it? Log Cabin. So thank you, Grandmother Clark. I thought that was really cool. And here you've got to see, did you see the close-up of her? Yeah. Just like her. I was just why I got my apron on. Okay, so I want to show you all the pieces. I think these are such a treasure. Okay, so this is what I have, and this is my quilt. Oh, you put them up. Thank you. There's basically 4 sets of colors when you do this, and these are the 4 colors that I picked. You need to have a dark and a medium, and then also your background. And basically, you make them in quarters. So here's the first one. Looks cute. You see that you need to have 2 of the little mediums and then 2 of the darks for the quarter. Okay, so that was the first one. I liked this one. And then Patty and, I did it. Patty and Teresa did it. What's this I thing? Okay, the next one is the oranges, the medium orange and the dark orange. This is my little quarter of the block. 2 mediums and 2 darks, and the green. Oh, the green's good, huh? Okay, so let's move this one over. And now, wanted this kind of, magenta, and then lighter one, and some texture. I think we like texture, a little bit of texture, and so this one has a little print in it. This one is just like a batik. And this is my quarter here. Okay, and then the last one. Okay, the purple. A really deep, dark, rich one with the texture in the medium one. So I just showed you the 4 different quarters. And basically, let's see. I decided that you should put these two opposite in the book, and then the yellow and the orange. Let me see, where did my orange go? I put it in the stack. Gone. Okay, so basically the two softer ones in the opposite corners. And then to finish this block off, this is in the die right here. You're going to put a green center, and this is the lattice right here, and they call it sashing. And so if you stack these right side up, then you won't go wrong. Okay, so now you see the colors, and I'm just going to go ahead and grab, I'm going to go ahead and grab that. I can't get it. And then we'll just put these pieces on. Okay, so look right here. You've got the D's, and that's these pieces right here. And that is from a 6-inch by 11.5-inch piece. And if you take that 6.5, and you actually have to print this, you do not have the yardage charts. It's another one printed by Accuquilt, and I'll show you what that looks like. But it's called Pathways Wall Hanging, and then you have the number written. You have to check Posey Pathways Wall Hanging to get it from an Accuquilt, on the Accuquilt website. And they have all the yardages, and they have all of the cutting. And then you have all the 4 colors like I just told you, okay? So I gave you a condensed version on my pattern. So these are all 11.5 by 6.5 by 6. And if you just take and you fold them into 2-inch pieces like this, and actually when I'm going to cut these, I like to press them so the edges are really flat. And I'll just pass that. Okay. To make this block, you need to have 2 of the colors, the dark and the medium. Fold them in 2-inch. Looks pretty easy, huh? And see all the D's? If you cover them like that. Okay, let's do math. Oh my gosh. How many diamonds? 4. How many stacks of fabric here? 3 times 4 is 12. 12. But you need to have 2 sets if you're going to make a 9-block quilt. And I figure you might as well just cut one whole big piece and make a 12-block quilt. It's even better, longer, nicer, right? Okay, so look, I'm just going to put that on there and cover it. Is that good? And see, and see how much nicer when you put it on here. Oh, and Teresa, she fan folded it. Okay, and so now these are all of the different colors that I gave her. And see, don't you wish you had an assistant here, huh?
Can I fan fold that? Can I press that for you?
Okay, you can do it. Okay, fine. Okay, so we're going to make this block on board. We're going to make a whole stack here, right? Okay, and then the next one is all the white. And it's really a 2-inch strip. A 2-inch strip. This is the E triangle, the little triangles, and they go right there. Okay, like right here. And then the F triangles go right there. I think you have a picture in the first one. And then this big one is the lattice, okay? So after you can go ahead and start out and just do a whole big strip and lay and cover it. But then after you have enough lattice, you can't you might as well not do a whole big strip. You should just cut little pieces. So you can cut F and you could cut E. Okay? Okay, this is all that I want to show you. You can just cut on the fold, do, 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 one way. Any size scissors will do, 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 do. Forget rotary cutters. Okay, now, I like everything right side up. 1, 2, cover it all up. 1/4 of an inch on one end. Are there anybody new to this Accuquilt in this group? No? Ah, you're all new to this. 2 of you new. What do you think, huh? Awesome. Okay, so now I'm covering this up. And now the green. This is the green right here. This is A, the center. And this is C, the little bottom. Simple, huh? So you can take this one, and if you want to do fan fold, they're a lot larger that you can work with them if you turn them right side up. And it could have been a little bit narrower, I know. This is only 3.5 inches wide and 3.5 inches wide, and you can just fan fold them like this and cover the whole thing. And now we need to have a mat on top. And now I'm going to do it. Okay. This is our mat. You have to have a mat the same size as your board. Good idea, huh? Okay, and this is our Go Big. So if I were you and I was new and I was buying a new cutter, I would go big.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay, so then once you get it started, you just like let go. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. We forgot our other board. We didn't do anything right. And
The
so,
large board?
huh?
The large
No,
board?
the board here.
Oh.
The table.
No, I just had a smaller area to work with.
Yeah. Yeah, we tried to do some changes. Okay, so now, whenever you have it all laid out, are you all with me? Okay, so cut the friction. Woo! Okay, I like to grab hold of a corner and just slide it because I hate to mess everything up. Oh, looking good, huh? Okay, you get to have that back. Oh, is one on there still?
Couple of it.
A couple of them. Okay, so now look at this. I cut the first pair. Whoops. Let me pull it apart. Not much waste. What do you think? Not much waste. All beautiful diamonds. Grandma Clark, eat your heart out. Look at this. Grandmother. Woo. Huh? Yes, and so you can just go ahead and pull them away. Here's your lattice. Here's your small triangles. And here are your large triangles. And so I'm just going to peel these away. Not much waste. Woof. Okay, so what happened?
The dog was just sleeping through it.
He is so funny. Sometimes he puts his paw right on my foot. Dogs do that. You know what? I do not even have a dog at my house, but I love the dogs. Each of my sons have a dog, and oh my goodness, they come and because I feed them. Yeah, and so these are all the parts that you need, and I'm going to show you something that I decided to do. I was cutting, let's see, if you have 9 blocks. See if you can do your math. 9 blocks, right? Yeah. 9 blocks. And this is what I just cut. How many of these diamonds do I need? 9 times 2 is 18. 18. I need 18, yeah. And then the same thing for this one. You need 18. You need 18 for all 4. 18 times 4 is what? 72. You're good. Well, sometimes I was sitting and sewing 72 at one time, and I got bored. Do you get bored? I get bored sometimes, and I realized this was antsy-pantsy, and I just couldn't stand it. So this is what I did. I kind of streamlined it. If you take and you make just little pieces of each color and you only cover 2, that should make 1 block, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, there's 1 block in the yellow. Look, I've got 1 block. I got the whole yellow done, right? Mm-hmm. And then how about I do the orange, okay? And I'm going to just stack them up because I couldn't stand doing the same color, and I was falling asleep at the sewing machine. And I said, wait a minute, I'm going to do something different. And so I took them and I stacked a 2-inch by 6-inch. I'm going to turn them over so the one's on the top. And I want to just run this through and have 1 whole block all cut. Good? Does that sound better? Okay, and now at this time you need to use just a smaller mat, and I did bring one with me. And I'm going to sit and sew, only I'm changing my glasses. Now I have to go to close-up. All right, we are now going to turn to the page 2. I need to have my my little triangles there. I'm looking at the first illustration. It says number 1, okay, and I'm turning them just like the picture. Okay, whoops, I'm not using the little ones. Okay, like this. I'm going to make them that way. And Teresa, I'm going to have you cut me more. Okay.
Cut more what?
Okay, there we go. Okay, so right here, do you see the dark? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's the dark. So I'm going to turn the dark just like that. And then underneath it, the light. Okay? And please notice that these are, okay, they're turned just like that, right? Right. Okay. So I'm just going to sew. Oops. I've got these all over my seat. Oh, watch. He's waking up. Okay. You need to have a stiletto. I saw my stiletto in here. And this is my stiletto. And I have to show you that Orion just designed a new stiletto. Ooh. Isn't that nice? I like to have a 2.5 stitch length, and it really helps if you have a single hole throat plate. A single hole throat plate. So only your needle goes down. Okay, it says lower your picture. Okay, come on. Okay, needle up. Good. 1/4 inch foot, and I have to make sure it's threaded. Okay, that's good. Okay, so now you just take this and you fold it right sides together. And what's really cool is these notches. Do you see how close they are? how well they line up? Okay, in number 1, this is what I have to flip. Right sides together, like so. Am I in the picture? Do I got them? That's right. Good. I like that. Okay, so now just use the 1/4 inch seam, and you can just sit and you can sew all of those colors that you have all lined up. And this is when I find the stiletto really useful. If you have to put your tip on your stiletto and pull it so that it lines up. I have the new Sew Straight that I'm using, and it's really good because you can line up. Here's the 1/4 inch, there's the needle line, there's the 1/4 inch line, and if you just put it like that, right after it, and you can keep it straight. Ta-da! Ta-da, ta-da! Okay, that's number 1, right? Okay, now, I still have 2 more of these. So, how about I just do number 2? Okay, so I need to have the dark, and notice now that it's mirror image. It's going the opposite way, and I call this the first one. I'm looking at the point, and I say I'm pointing to the right, and now I'm pointing to the left. That away. Can you see that? That away. So you need to have the dark, and you need to have the medium. And the medium is also pointed exactly the same to the left, and line this up just like this. Right? Am I right? No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I think I'm right. Yeah, I'm right. I think I'm good. Okay.
It's too easy to get confused.
Pardon me?
It's too easy to get confused.
I know.
Mirror image.
They're mirror image. They're mirror image. And just line them up like this. Okay. And so I'm just going to chain these right behind, and you can see they're different.
So are the sew mat, the sew straight mats for sale now?
They're coming soon.
Yes, I remember you were asking for one. Yeah, I know that they're coming. I know. Yeah, okay, this is my little jumper scrap. Okay, so I'm just going to put it right on there, and I'm going to stop these 2 and talk about them and show you what I did. I just did 2 of them, okay, 2 sets. And so I'm just going to cut the first 2 off, and I want you to look at number 1. And it shows how to press your seam. Don't go close on this one. I can't see you. Okay, Eric, you could show them. Look how good I did. Okay. So, oh my God. So the first one, the dark one, how does it show the seam pressed?
Towards the dark. Towards the dark.
Okay, so that's what you say. Dark diamond, dark. Press to the dark. So I'm going to put the dark on top. And how is the seam pressed on the medium one? To the light. Okay, so I'm just going to leave the light on top. So when we open them up, set the seam, and you can open like that. And then you can open like this. Is that cool?
You did.
Okay, these are dark. So now if you have a whole dark and you're not bored, okay, lay it on. Okay, you can't. Can you walk around your table?
Yeah.
Okay,
What would you like
now
me to do?
I want you to put your dark diamond on top.
Dark diamond on
dark
top.
diamond on top, because dark diamond you're supposed to press toward the dark. And so see how I was doing all of the assembly line? And then, okay, what you do, Teresa, is you go down the whole line first. You set the whole seam. You go
Which
boing,
you
boing,
did,
boing, boing, boing.
right?
Yes,
Okay.
right.
And
then you just go along and open them up. And now all of the seams are pressed toward the dark, okay?
the darks.
Dark. And yeah, and how many do you think are in that line?
There's a lot.
14.
See.
See, there's one for all of
So
them.
you're going to make it all one color?
No.
Okay.
I did it on all of them.
Okay. All right.
You're just demonstrating. Okay, and then this is the second one. Look how straight the seams are. I did that just so you'd laugh. Okay, this is the medium. Now how do you press the seams? So now you put the light on the top, set the seam the whole way down, and cut them apart. And, ooh, I found it. Cool. So we have this really neat tool. And this is to cut the whole string apart. So once you've got them all, the whole line pressed, then you just take your little cutter. I do not know what the technical name of this is, but anyhow, it has a used rotary cutter blade inside. That's what I'm using to press them.
What a good use for the used rotary cutter.
I know. Isn't that good? It's really good. And this is a fairly new invention, but see how you can just go along and cut it. And then just stack them all up, and you're ready. Okay, and then the same thing, and you can stack them all up, make them all nice and neat. And then the same thing now with the medium color, press to the light. They're all pressed to the light, so you can just go like this. 1, 2, 3, and just keep them all nice and straight.
But you need to have mirror image, right?
They have to be mirror image, and this was just on step number 1.
Okay.
And then step number 2 is mirror image, right?
Okay.
Press toward the light. I am now getting ready for step number 3. And I need my medium, cut off my medium. I vowed that I wasn't going to have a big mess on my table because I do it every month. And look at me. I have it anyways, right? I am step number 3. And this is, okay, this one right here. Do you see this is this, medium, and this one is pointing this way. Do you see that? And now I need to go into my big triangles. The big triangles, and right here, I'm going to lay the big triangle like this. And right here, I'm going to lay the big triangle like this. Right? Can you see the white on the white? Or would you rather see it on the purple? You can see it? Okay, so what we're doing right now, and when you lay them out like this, you can see, okay, this is what I'm making right here. So now I'm just going to do the same on number 3. I'm going to flip this right sides together, and Teresa's going to sew a nice straight seam there. I'm so glad you're sewing. Are you doing it straight?
The good thing you cannot see him.
When I sew at home, I have to put my head really close to the needle, and it's not stopping me from sewing. I just totally still love to sew. Okay, now you can cut. I'm doing one sample, but you know that I did exactly the same thing. I just sewed all of them along like this.
Okay.
Okay, so now let's look at them. Scissors, scissors, scissors.
There you go.
Scissors, scissors, cut them. Okay, let me see. Now, if we put the top one, let's see. This one is going to look like this, right? And now, okay, and then this one is this, right? See how they are? This one you press toward the, and the large triangle. There we go. That's one. Now this one right here, you press toward light, but it's which triangle? No, it's right. Yeah, it's a small triangle. There, like that? That's right.
And they will lock.
That's right, yes. And they're all done like that. They're laid out. I want to make sure up and down. So whenever you take these, you want to match right there. And you just fold them like that.
Now, yeah.
And you can line them up. Yep, they will line up. Because this one is going up and this one is going down. And you write it right here. Okay, so you want to match up here at the top. See? And look at this little tip, like so.
There.
Okay, here is the dark. Now, oh, we did that just so you would see. I heard you guys all have a revelation. See, it's good. You have to make mistakes more than once.
Yes, I do that often.
And that's really what I found out. And now see if these lock. Okay, you just pick those ones up that you made before. And now we have all 4 of them here, right? Okay, now she's going to go right down here. Okay, is it locking? Ooh, down, up. Very clever. Teresa is the one that figured out the seam allowances this time. She did it and gave me a paper. And there it drew it. Is it good? Yes. Okay, and this is for you. The Accuquilt patterns do all say to press the seams open. And if you like to press seams open, that's good. But if you would rather just press them so they lock, then follow these pictures. But you're still welcome to press all of them open. What do you think? What are you guys? Are you lockers? Yes. Lockers? Okay, now let's see. Okay. Okay, don't go away yet.
We're going to press. You tell me where to press.
Okay, let's cut off some of these strings. What do you say? Okay, we're nearly done, guys. Do you know that? With at least one of them. Okay, let's open this one. And I can see this piece right here. Is that it? That's it?
No, that one.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, but right now you're right here.
Okay, you're right on number 4.
Okay.
You're on number 4. And you see how the seam says you press them all away from dark. There are 2 of them there. On number 4 on the right, follow the seams. You're going straight towards that big triangle, right? So I'm going to give that one to her. And then this one, is this one. And it also shows press away from the big triangle. Right? Two of them are going away, right and right. Okay, you get that one?
This is going away from it, right?
Away from the big triangle.
Okay.
This one went towards the big triangle. Good? Just look how it matches. Ooh, she did a good job. Okay, this one, the seam is going away from the big triangle. Ah, oh my goodness. Okay, now what number are we on? 5.
Yes.
Flip it right sides together. Do, 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 do. Lock the seams. Down, up, down, up. Right? Okay. Line it up at the top. Line it up at the top. And if you have to, I kind of like do a little pushing. Little pulling sometimes. Okay, and they're all going to line up. Is he nice and close on the pictures?
Yeah.
I can't see the pictures. But we're nearly there. And we are going to pull out the green. Look at number 6. We're up to the green. Oh, see, that didn't take long.
And every color is doing the same way, right?
And then I just assembly line sew all the colors exactly the same. I do want to show you what I found out on number 5. Number 5 is the only one that we press the seams open. Do you see that? And we press the seams open because it's very bulky there if you press them together. Okay, so right here on number 5, this seam is pressed open. This seam. And I've experimented with this. Just, you know, you end up fidgeting a lot. And so I found out that if you kind of lay it open and you start up on the white and you get your stiletto. And can you see how I just kind of grabbed that and I just started opening that? And once you have your white open at the top, then you can just go ahead and go the whole way down. And I prefer finger pressing open before I even get it to the ironing board, because you fidget too much at the ironing board. But look, if you can open that with your fingers and lay it flat, and you can see right here already, look how that lines up. Okay, so now you got it kind of pressed open. I press with my finger so much, and that's why I've lost my nail polish. I always think I'm going to get to the manicurist, you know, because they're all beautiful, and then all of a sudden I knock one off. Okay, that's good. You did a good job. Okay, look on the front. Is it beautiful? Yeah. Let's look on the back. That's nice. Okay, now the last piece is your green. Okay, so if you put it right sides together, you can see, look at this. They're kind of like round. I like the round corners. They're round. And see this right here? It's going to go here and here. Oops. And I do prefer, oh, we've got a 1/4 inch seam. If you have to, you can sliver trim just to kind of slit. You get to trim off 1/32 of a seam, and that's all you get to trim. So you want to have your 1/4 inch seam right there. Let's line it up. And so you can keep that seam. I prefer to sew with the green on the bottom so that you can keep this whole area flat. And you're also going to do this assembly line sewing. You're doing a really good job, Teresa. All right. Going across. Oh, would you like to use a stiletto?
Well, sure. I thought you wanted there to show it. So
Yeah, but there's one over there. You know, I'm right-handed. Teresa is left-handed. It's a little harder for the left-handed people to use a stiletto.
yes,
Yeah, don't you think?
yes.
Yes. Okay, and so look, she just pressed it open. You've got your green on the top. Just open, press. And look at that beautiful seam right there. Whoa! That's good, huh? And all of the little pieces in this really fit nicely together. You just have to make 4 per block. And 4 times 9 is 36. Okay, so then we're going to go over here to this little one that we laid out. And they're kind of easy to finish. In the one copy that Accuquilt did, this is, let me see, I thought that her name was on here. But anyhow, on this 9 block, each one of the centers are green. And I wanted mine to look more flowery, so I used a little bit of all of the colors. But anyhow, if you look over on page 3, up at the top, it shows I just do the traditional flip and sew. I always do vertical rows, 1, 2, 3. And Teresa, can you sew the 3 rows together? When I'm working on my design wall and I have a lot, I will take and flip the middle row to the left, and then I just stack from top to bottom and put my patches. You have to kind of carefully carry them and make sure you don't twist until you get there. And then it's just the 1/4 inch seam again. And so Teresa actually did, and you did flying geese on your setting?
Flying geese.
Flying geese around the outside edge. Hers looks pretty fall, huh? Don't you think? With a cornerstone. So then you just lay this back out. Let me see. Okay, you have to open it up. Wait, this way. 1, 2, 3. The seams are now pressed towards the lattice or the sashing, and this seam is pressed toward the green. So if you just open the green and press the seam, away from the green, toward the lattice, toward the away from the green. Yeah. Okay, and then this one is next. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. You got me my pieces.
I got your pieces.
I didn't. You tricked me.
I did?
Yes, I didn't.
I didn't mean to.
I didn't know that you didn't use our ruler. Okay. Okay, so here. That was a good move, huh? Okay, this is your green. And this is the large triangles that fit in right like that. Ah, it's flying geese. And you can use your Goose Tracks. So with this one, you always have to do one side, all the one side, and then I always open and press towards the white, and then you take the second triangle and you flip it on top and sew it. It's not that bad. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. And it's very important to follow all the pictures that Merritt did. And the seams. Okay, so now again, this, I open it. The seam is behind the sashing. This one, I'm going to just leave the green flat so that the seam is away from the green, and then the same here toward the white. And so the seam should lock in the middle.
All right.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, I really like the colors. It's really, really fun. And then the block is finished at 9.5, and mine truly were 9.5. So your lattice is 2 inches by 9.5, and these are just the same cornerstones as are in the center. So it goes together. And I used the flying geese, or the wave and scallop ruler to do the outside. And I want you to go really close on the quilting. How about look at the flower? I think it's really cute. My friend Ida did this from Julian, and she did the little petals like that, and then made it like a triangle. And all of the little flowers have that in the petals. And then all the lattice, she did the little, this must have a name. Those of you that long arm quilt must know what that's called. Anybody?
The scroll. Looks like
The scroll?
looks like a scroll.
A scroll. And she just filled in the lattice with a scroll, and around the outside edge she did the same thing. And I think it's really cute in her little cornerstones. And this must have a name. What's that? So you go to the scroll, and then you go like that.
Yeah. And you come back.
And then you come back. See, I send everything out. I just quilt with my credit card. And when I get, I mean, my big thing is getting my backing all cut and ready, and everything's pressed nice, and just go to the long arm quilter, and she says, what would you like me to do? And I only told one quilter once what to do, and I didn't like it. So I said, you just do whatever you like to do, and I know it'll be great. And I've never been unhappy. That's an easy way to get your quilting done.
I was impressed. I quilted the top one. See it? Just straight
Oh,
lines.
yeah, you could. So can you get this one, Ari? Yeah,
Yeah.
that is really
Just
cool.
straight lines and
Yeah, see?
just wanted-
Grandma Clark would show this one. Grandmother Clark, don't you think? And this is really nice. This was an extra piece that Teresa added to hers.
I cut off the lattice and then I just cut a piece the width of the brown, you know.
That looks really cute.
It changes
You
the whole
know,
thing.
a goose or a turkey. Turkey tracks. Turkey tracks. Okay, so then let's look. This is really beautiful. So this is just called feathers, or another name? Feathers. Feathers just on the outside border. This is beautiful. And who quilted this one for you?
Judy.
Judy. Okay, you see, I'm in Julian now, and I don't ever have time to even get it to Judy. I have to like run it over to Ida and say, can you do it today? Okay, but look, that is more than a square too. It's quarter square triangles.
Right, right.
And so there are so many different things that you can do to make them, you know,
Are you saw the pieces from the die to use those things?
That is really, there's such a variety in all of the pieces.
I use that
Yeah.
is in the corners too.
Yeah, this is a really simple die, and I was really excited that they grouped the pieces that use the same colors. This is C, and this is F. And so what do you like to do, the left or the right one
It
first?
doesn't matter.
Okay.
Which one would you like me to do?
You know what? It seems that I switch back and forth all the time. Sometimes I like to flip my C on first. And the notches on this are like they're like curves. They're really quite nice. I like them. And we have the single hole throw plate on the throw plate, and it's not jamming as much.
Yeah, the single.
Yeah, the single hole.
And I often, all these pieces that are in the bias, I offer finger press or use your purple thing. It's so good. If I remember where I have it.
Well, let me look in our drawer. Let me see.
Then I also tend to start with this side and where I have all the seam. But see, everything is right together. And see, this is you can even mark your 1/4 inch right here. Do you see it? I use this, look at that. And it presses so well. You see it? And see, you have to be careful. This is on the bias. Okay, so that's why I want to press it with this in it. And there is your flying geese.
Yay!
And then I use the corner. You see that corner in the middle? Basically, I just put 3 in each, on top 2 sides of the block and in the corner. That's it.
This is a nice one you can use for any quilt, too.
Yeah, yeah. And then in this, so you know, I don't have the color, but this is where I use our gloss. Is that what you call that block in the middle? Yeah, so I use in color, but see, that's what that is. If I had it 2 opposite colors,
That's cool.
that's what that is.
That's
You
very
see the
cool.
one in the middle?
Yeah.
If you had to
Very
different
cool,
color,
Teresa.
that's what that is.
Yes, I didn't realize that.
That's what I
So the
did.
triangles are very useful, too.
Yeah.
So it's the F on one end for the large triangle and the E on the opposite end for the smaller, the hourglass. Ah, I only
Very
need to have you
pretty.
make 11 more.
11 marks. Oh, you made 12. She made her bright blocks. Yeah.
Yeah, I did make all my
Yes,
blocks.
she made her blocks.
Yeah, and you can see how nice it lays. You want to see the back? Doo-doo. So the last seam goes in, all lined up. There's our little flat ones right in the back. All right. I like it. Thank you.